Hey y'all, it's Wendy from Village Card and Craft. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a super fun and easy technique to make unique backgrounds for any type of card that you want to make. We're going to be traveling to a different room in the house today to gather up some supplies, the kitchen. And we're looking for a common item that just about every household has, cookie cutters. Let's get crafting. Here's just 2 of 3 cards that I made using this technique. Let me show you how to do it. I'm starting with a selection of cookie cutters. Mine happen to be metal Christmas cookie cutters, but you can use plastic or any shape that you have. It doesn't have to be Christmas specific. Remember, these backgrounds will work for any type of card. Also, some acrylic paints. I also have out some Distress Oxide spray, but it's not necessary if you don't have those. I'm starting with just 2 shapes, and I'm pouring some green acrylic paint into a kid's food tray that I have covered with some press and seal and adding water to thin it out. Now I'm going to use the Christmas tree one and just dump it in as I would any stamp into ink. And then I'm going to make random patterns throughout my piece of cardstock. This is a regular piece of cardstock. It's not anything special, not watercolor, just any piece you have is fine. And continue adding pattern as you see fit. Next up, I add red, and I'm going to thin that out as well with some water and mix it up. And then I'm going to use the candy cane cookie cutter and add that to my original panel. Now, I'm going to tell y'all that this is the one panel that I make that I really thought I didn't like. And I had a tough time with it, but I'm going to show you how great it turned out at the end. Not everything is what we see in our head, so don't get rid of it. You're just going to keep working at it. And I'm going to show you what I did to this at the very end. If you're finding that you're not getting the coverage that you want, you can certainly paint it on and add more paint. You can also not thin it out as much, have a little bit thicker coating, but I didn't like the globs of paint that it did for me because that just wasn't what I was going for. Next up, I go ahead and I use my candy cane alone. Now, as you can see, it's not stamping out that whole candy cane image. And then I saw swirls and flourishes. And oh boy, I love this one. If you find this video helpful or enjoyable in any way, please give me some pixie dust by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. I decided to do just a green Christmas tree background, and I just added some more water to the paint and kind of mixed it up. And that's where I'm going to leave this one. Again, kind of less is more motto. Doesn't look like much, but wow, they turn out spectacular at the end. So I apologize if my videos today are a little windy. We are experiencing squall lines from Tropical Storm Nicole that came through as Hurricane Nicole a number of hours ago down in my previous home in the Port St. Lucie area. So I'm wishing all my friends out there that live down south to stay safe, and let's get back to crafting. So I have cut the first layer of Sizzix Thinlit layered Christmas trees, and I'm using some Distress Oxide in Rustic Wilderness in peeled paint. I'm just going to be very random about where I put the paint. I want to kind of give it some highlights and lowlights with the different colors. So I made a pretty big mistake here. I cut out the 3rd layered section of this Christmas tree, which is the snowdrift part, and I completely forgot about layer 2. But I embraced the mistake and I continued on because at this point I didn't really know I made a mistake, but it's okay. It turns out fabulous at the end. If you've never used Thinlits dies, they're really fantastic. When you cut out the base layer, it actually makes an impression into your cardstock to where the second layer will go. And then the second layer cuts out an impression for layer 3. Super easy to follow through, even though this was really my first time using this particular die, but oh, lots of possibilities. So in an effort not to bore y'all, I went ahead and skipped forward to the end of putting on the snowdrifts on the Christmas tree. I have to say, this is a beautiful die. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. In this Florida girl's mind, all Christmas trees should glisten with snow, so mine is no different. I am going to be using the Ranger Emboss It pen along with Ranger's holographic embossing powder. I'm using the Emboss It pen to draw some areas that I want the holographic embossing powder to stick to. It's totally random, y'all. It's thick in some areas, thin in others, and then I'm just dumping the holographic powder on, and then I'm going to heat emboss that. But y'all, let me tell you, this stuff is a whole lot of fun, but a whole lot of mess. Oh Lord, it is like, as Mama would say in The Waterboy, it's the devil. If you're finding value or enjoyment from watching my video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And also consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming part of the Village Card and Craft community. We're working towards a goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. Show you how I finished up these cards. The first one was that background that I did at the very beginning of the video that I really didn't like, but I pressed on, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. If at first you don't like something, keep going. You can layer tons of paint, tons of oxide inks, tons of distress inks, whatever you have. You can layer them and finally reach a goal that you're happy with. So I sprayed that thing with stress oxide sprays, didn't like it. Sprayed it with shimmer sprays, still didn't like it. Ended up ink blending in multitudes of colors before I settled on distress oxide in candied apple. And then I was finally happy. I finished that little oopsie Christmas tree that I forgot the layer on with some of these picket fence crystalline diamonds in opal that I got on scrapbook.com. And they were in the clearance section. Wasn't sure how I was going to like them because they don't have a flat back, but I got to tell you guys, these turned out to be phenomenal Christmas ornaments on that great little tree. So let me show you how I finished those. Use that beautiful oopsie Christmas tree that we made with the crystalline diamonds that I just shared with you. And I absolutely love this card, y'all. So even when you think it's a mistake, keep going. Finish this beautiful card by inking the background that I did with the Christmas tree cookie cutter in green, and then I added the Sizzix Thinlit die called Festive Trims. So this last card is the candy cane background, along with that same Christmas tree that was actually die cut properly this time. I think it's a really modern looking card with a traditional feel as well. I hope you enjoyed this kitchen card creation using cookie cutters, and I'll see you real soon.